100K subscribers! We are doing AMA Ask Me Anything.
Why does Paloma hate Kelly so much?
Do you guys have any backstage heat with major wrestlers?
I don't know heat, but I don't know how some exes feel about me.
Do I think I'll ever come back to the ring?
I think it's finally time to address it. I'm in a mental space finally, like, able to talk about it. Welcome if you're entering the Belle, this is Diaz.
And the Sriracha Muchacha, Paloma Star.
I'm your dad, bod demigod. My name's Joey Mayberry.
And we finally have 100K subscribers!
Holy sh**. I'm sorry if that's like too much, but like holy sh**.
Seriously, wow, I cannot believe it. This is amazing. Thank you to everybody watching and all of our 100K subscribers. Shiny Black in the Ring the Bell Studios, aka DS's bedroom where the magic happens.
Yes, it does. So I'm so excited. Magic happened here. Thanks to you guys.
And Moxie Molly.
And Moxie Molly.
Interdimensional parent.
Interdimensional. She's an interdimensional shiro. She is wireless transmitting. So for a very special episode, we are doing AMA Ask Me Anything.
Oh,
I can't wait. I'm excited and a little scared.
I'm terrified. Let's see what happens.
All right, let's start with RCVK Star said, what is the story behind the channel and what prompted the creation of Ring the Bell? So Ring the Bell was created because I was effing bored. I was like, I wanted to watch some women's wrestling YouTube channel because as you know, I don't watch men's wrestling. And all these other channels were like, really talking very shortly about women. They were kind of dismissive, some of them. And I was like, I'm sick of this. I'm going to make my own. I don't have any friends to talk wrestling with. So I'm going to make friends here. And it happened here. So I'm very happy. Next question, JH7963. How did you all meet?
Through a play, actually.
Yeah, funny enough.
Yeah, so I was directing this show called We Don't Play Fight up here in Chicago, and I was like a fan of Ring the Bell. So I reached out to DS and Lola at the time and was like, I would love y'all to be involved. And then they did get involved. And also, Paloma was wrestling on the show.
And we met that previous summer at Lucha in the Park. We were doing like a completely different gimmick. And I think you were either still in Florida or had like just moved here.
I had just moved here.
Yeah, we like started talking and we clicked right away. And then I remember Joey saying like, oh, we need to hang out again and we need to get together soon. And look at us now.
And then we circled back and had a match at Lucha in the Park that was here on Ring the Bell.
Yeah.
Our lives circle a lot.
It really does. And I met DS because of the play that Joey was putting together. And that's literally how we like intertwined.
And then Moxie joined in to join in the Wednesday Night War.
Wednesday Night Wars, where all we did was bitch about AEW.
And I met Moxie. I couldn't even tell you the first time I met Moxie. I met her through wrestling. I think it was probably like at Southland Championship Wrestling or so.
And it was Paloma's recommendation, and it was the best recommendation ever.
I started with Paloma Star. Someone suggested that she and I be friends on social media because we were both women's wrestlers. We were friends on social media for a while until we were randomly booked against each other. And when we met, we were so ecstatic. And I believe I met Joey by randomly showing up at his apartment, just showing up at this gentleman's apartment. And I'm like, hey, I'm here to talk about women's wrestling on a camera. And he was like, I love it. Let's do it.
Jens Y asked for DS, was it always a goal of yours to feature some local wrestlers or was it happy accident?
Question. I don't need
that's a good question.
To that.
I think Ring the Bell is Ring the Bell because we have opinions of Paloma and Joey because I've never been to the ring. I don't even know how it feels in there.
We're trying.
Because of their experience in the ring, I feel like it adds so much more complexity, so much more knowledge. There's some meat to it.
Yeah.
So I think it's like the best combination ever. Raisin K said for
I want Raisin Canes.
For Paloma, I want to ask, how did you come up with your amazing Sriracha Muchacha gimmick?
Well, first of all, it's not a gimmick, it's real life. No, but for reals, I absolutely really do love Sriracha. My obsession started in like 2012 when I started working at a sushi bar restaurant as a cocktail waitress in Texas. I literally ate sriracha with everything, and like with the leftover sushi rice, we could eat it. So like one of my other cocktail waitress friends would always put sriracha on it. She's like, you need to try this. It's so good. And so literally since then, I like had not stopped eating sriracha. But with the Sriracha Muchacha gimmick specifically, I actually stole the name from a New York City food blogger. That's on Instagram. That's just her Instagram handle. And I just always remember seeing her pop up. I'm like, there's something here, something catchy. And when I moved from Texas to Chicago, I knew I wanted to do something different and to kind of like introduce myself to the Midwest and the Chicago wrestling scene. And that's when I officially changed my gimmick. I was actually just known as Star in Texas. I don't think a lot of people know that.
Wait,
I was
really?
Yeah, I didn't have
Not even
name.
Paloma.
No, I didn't have a first name or a last name. I was just Star with 2 R's.
Oh.
Yeah, fun fact. And also before that, in my previous gimmick, my name was Star Venus.
Oh my god, it's very like Sailor Moon.
I was very blonde. I mean, my whole hair was blonde. It's a whole cool different storyline thing that I have to totally talk to you guys. This is basically, I ended up being lost at sea. They even had a whole funeral for me for Star Venus. So it was she's dead now, I think. But yeah, basically that's how I came up with it. Shout out to my husband, Cody, for thinking that it would never work. He thought it was so stupid. And literally, after a year moving here, he said, I want to apologize to you because I was wrong. Your gimmick really works. So, yeah.
Baby Q7056. What inspired your gimmick? It was for Joey.
Oh, it's for me. It's just kind of me, to be honest. My gimmick is just me with more sparkles. Like, I'm this loud, this flashy, like normally as a person. And the dad bod demigod actually happened because of Ring the Bell. I was just,
what? Oh,
yeah,
really?
It was just something random because you remember the lives where we were just like every time someone like donated, we just took a shot. It was like one random day that I was just drunk on Ring the Bell and called myself a dad bod demigod, and I was like, that sounds nice.
I was always like, where did the demigod come from?
I thought you were wearing a shirt that said dad bod for a while, or was that just me, or did that come afterwards?
That came afterwards.
Oh,
like legitimately, they are still on the channel. You can probably go back and see where I like discovered that term. Like I just started saying it one day.
So my Moxie Melly gimmick was originally very much like girl power, vintage, pinup, Rosie the Riveter, like she whom we will not name, that I always say took my gimmick. And then she debuted in NXT, and I was like, I want to do something different. I don't want people to compare me to her. I had a really weird childhood, and one of the only luxuries I was given were the Archie comic books that you can get at the grocery store in the checkout aisle. And I saw people doing this really cool comic book makeup, and I tried it once and I loved it on me, and I was like, I can work with this, because comic books were kind of vintage. I just needed an origin story, a backstory. I'm going to be a teeny bopper comic book kind of Archie character. And I can be a very over the top, drawn out version of who I am as a human and make that into my gimmick. And like, so my gimmick is me elevated on a bunch of coffee, you know, being like happy go lucky, lots of energy. Woo! Wowie! Right? And I think when you find a gimmick that is genuinely you, that's when it sticks the best. So of course I found the most success when I stepped into this interdimensional hero, because really that is me deep down inside.
For Shatter Reachers 5227, what match helped you get into wrestling and why?
My first match that got me into wrestling was Lita versus Stephanie McMahon, the main event where The Rock was the special guest referee. I just randomly, my dad was flipping through channels and that match came on, and instantly I saw Lita and she hits this moonsault and I was hooked. Like I was just done.
I don't think it's a specific match because I grew up in Mexico, so I actually did not know that wrestling existed outside of lucha libre. So my favorite wrestlers growing up was Tinieblas and his little mini Aluche. I didn't see women's wrestling till I moved to the States. I actually was like, wait, what? There's other wrestling? But definitely Tinieblas and Aluche got me really into wrestling. Women's wise, I mean, I have to say like Lita and Trish. I couldn't tell you like a specific match, but definitely those. What about you, DS?
I mean, I started watching around 2000, but I think the match that I started watching like weekly, I think was the Santa's Helper match.
Wait, the 6-woman tag?
Yeah.
Oh my
That was
god,
such
I'm
a cute
covering that
match.
on Golden Era right after I leave here.
2002 one?
Wait, was it the 6-woman with Lita, Trish, Stacy versus
The one before that. I think it was like Jacqueline, Trish.
Ivory versus Molly?
Anyway, that match.
Okay.
Although I did watch some wrestling when I was growing up, it was kind of outlawed in our house. And then I got older. I was like 23 or 24, and I had a boyfriend who he and his friends were really into wrestling, and they watched it every Monday together. As a gift for him, I got him tickets ringside to Monday Night Raw on September 12th, 2012. If you watch that recording, I think you see glimpses of me in the crowd. Anyhow, there was a match between Eve Torres and the wrestler then named Caitlin. And although, a lot of people were getting up and leaving during this match, there were twin girls in the row directly in front of my boyfriend at the time and I, and just their look of awe, their jaws dropping, getting to see these women this close, kicking ass, basically. I don't know, just something resonated with me. This was like inspiration glitter. And that's the best way I can explain it, is I just saw the awe and amazement in these two little twin girls' eyes of seeing ladies, people who looked like them, being able to wrestle in a crowd as large as that. And I kind of just wanted to find a way to get that inspirational glitter and keep it to myself and be able to produce it myself.
See, Chandre, how does it feel to be the best recap women's wrestling review channel? I feel stratified. But thank you for saying that. I do want to say though, I do want to see more women's wrestling recap channel pop up. I'm kind of shocked that it didn't for 5 years later.
There are some, like, it seems like it's more of a thing on Twitter than it is on YouTube. I feel like Ring the Bell is definitely like the YouTube women's wrestling thing, but there's definitely a lot more media coverage that I see on Twitter.
Brisk King, do you guys ever plan on doing a podcast tour of sorts? Go to city interviewing wrestlers before their matches?
Yes.
All right, let's do
I would love that. Shout out to Brisk King. I know he always sends really nice love and support. But that would be super fun. I mean, why not? Let's take the show on the road.
That would be cool. You know what? Actually, though, I did test it out at Detroit SummerSlam before the show. Nobody showed up. I was like, I'm just gonna be drinking out here at this bar right next to the stadium. Just come say hi. No, but I think this is a really good idea because maybe if we partner up with Comic-Con or Starcast or something. Brisk King, thank you for the idea. Thank you for the idea. DragCon, maybe. Next question, Trey Cantrell. The question is for Paloma and Moxie. As women's wrestlers, what does it mean to have a platform like Ring the Bell to shine light on women's wrestling?
I absolutely love it. I did a 40-page research paper in college about women's wrestling's portrayal in the mass media. So the fact that I could contribute such positive to that, because it was definitely needed back in 2010 when I did this paper. So the fact that I could kind of help put that into the ecosystem of wrestling is amazing. I mean, there's so many places that do discuss wrestling. Obviously there's so much of that is a surplus of it. But the fact that we can specifically highlight women's wrestling is, I think, what really makes us special and stand out, because women's wrestling has come such a long way, but we still have a way to go.
Ring the Bell is something really special, and it has such a following because I don't think there's ever been someone who so passionately yet so eloquently and organized, honest feedback, but positive feedback about women's wrestling. It's awe-inspiring that there's so many people that understand that women's wrestling is not a novelty. We work really hard, and we're glad that there's people out there that care about it just as much as we do.
Trajan1707, what is your dream match? What is your dream matches?
I don't even know if I have one now because it happened already.
One, I would love to tag with Lita at some point, just because that's who got me into wrestling. But I think from who I would want to face, I would love to fight Melina. A match with Melina, I feel like we would just have fun.
My dream match, honestly, do not laugh at me. I get so much flack for this. To this day, one of my favorite people I still check in on is Sheamus. He is my favorite. Side note, he was one of the first people that shook my hands the first time I went backstage for WWE. If I could have a tag team match, like an intergender tag team match where he were my tag partner, oh my God, my life would be made. My mind would be blown.
To To DS, Trajan1707, to DS, what has been the most memorable interview you've been done so far?
Good question. What is?
I think, okay, so this question, people ask me that a lot. What's the best interview you've done? I can't answer that. Every interview is like so memorable in their own way.
Oh, for sure.
But I think most fulfilling ones are when, in my humble opinion, if I could tell that I am sending the energy from the women's wrestling fans to the wrestler. Like, for example, Alicia Fox sent me this little cute letter saying it's like a thank you because she got so much good energy from that interview that she's like so excited about what to do next. So those are the interviews that I'm like, it happened with a couple people that I feel so proud of.
For sure. And in a way, I'm sure you, not only the way that you bring it up, like you said, the top most favorite moments, and they get to go down memory lane and talk about the great moments that they lived by and like maybe add on what they thought while they were going through it. And I think that's really like re-inspired. It almost like makes you fall in love with wrestling all over again. Because honestly, like wrestling, of course I love wrestling, but being in it is really hard to get bitter and cold towards it and just angry towards it. So it's really awesome that you get to really relive all these awesome moments with them and get to re-inspire them and just really show them how you said, like, send them all the love.
Yeah. Super Sailor 2875, if you could bring back one Diva-inspired gimmick match, what would it be?
I'm a sucker for anything in a pool. Like, oh my god. Like, dream match, I'll edit mine. Like, if it's me and Melina, put us in a pudding match. I love stuff like that. I thought it was always fun because it's pure and utter camp.
Oh, give me all the themed dress up matches you can. Bring back Cyber Sunday, Taboo Tuesday. Let me vote for what I want them to wear. But like, I want it to be like literally anything and everything, not just like it has to be like short and sexy. If you want it to be short and sexy, go for it. If you want to be like stupid and campy, go for it. If you want to wear like a full covered bodysuit or anything like that, like I want it to be camp, full of camp, from like super hot, sexy schoolgirls to like somebody covered in like a giant banana or something like that.
I think wrestling needs more camp.
Yeah.
Like, legitimately needs more camp.
I always love the Thanksgiving matches, but I want to make it sriracha. Dude,
No. That sounds so painful.
Mess6138, favorite all-time gear.
I think mine's gonna be Melina, because I literally, those fuzzy boots at the time that she was wearing it were literally so iconic. I mean, come on, the apple bottom jeans with the boots and the fur was at that time too. So I just, like, as soon as I saw anybody with fuzzy boot covers, I automatically would think Melina. If you see something that reminds you of them, you're doing your brand right. So I always loved Melina's gear. It was different, creative. She could always do something with it, but she always had like that iconic either fuzzy boot or like cool cutouts. I always loved Melina's gear for sure.
My favorite, of course, is Trish Stratus. I love her like black and pink situation, the black pink situation, but the one that she wore for Survivor Series, I think it's really, really cute. But also, I secretly really love that Candice Michelle gear where she was showing a little bit of an under boob too. I don't know if you remember, it's like a red gear, it's so slutty, but I love it.
Obviously, like, I'm a big Lita person, but like, you know, thong, baggy pants, they all looked cool. Fishnets, love it. But I think my favorite gear, now that I've went through everything, there was this Trish gear. Golden, but it was also kind of see-through, and it's like a two-piece. I'll show you a picture. Like something she wore only like maybe twice, but it was like legitimately gorgeous. We just covered it on Golden Era. Like, it's probably one of the best gears of all time.
Unified Women's Wrestling 4346 for Paloma. Now that you've competed against your favorite Jazz, who's your next dream opponent?
Oh man, that's such a good one, right? Me versus Joey, part 2.
Electric Book.
I think it's hard because I feel like a lot of the women that I want to wrestle are probably not wrestling anymore. I mean, I would love to wrestle Awesome Kong. That'd be great. Or like ODB.
That would be cool.
Yeah, I think me and ODB could have a really, really cool, fun match because we're both like kind of like silly and like camp and have like bring out objects to eat/drink.
You're right.
Yeah.
Barbecue sauce versus sriracha muchacha.
Right, exactly.
That's so good.
I feel like me versus ODB would be such a fun time. For sure. I would love that.
Or even just food collab.
Yeah, seriously. Let's do it. Why not?
Actually, can I tell you my dream match for you? I think it would be so much fun. I would love to see you work Billy Kay.
Oh my god! That'd be hilarious!
All right.
Ranson KK for Joey, I want to ask who inspires you most out of women in WWE?
Well, obviously Lita's my fave. Like, that's a huge inspiration. But to be honest, like, of my 3 women that I think are like, okay, they inspire you, it would be Lita, Trish, and Stacy Keibler. I love anybody who walks through the curtain and you instantly are like, drawn to them, like, magnetically. Like, they never had to get in the ring. Like, all of those women never had to get in the ring and really, like, prove themselves. All they had to do was walk out, and you instantly were like, they're iconic. And that's something I'm all about. I love the stage presence and the charisma.
Raisin KK, for DS, I want to ask, what was your favorite 2000s women's rivalry? Trish versus Mickey. Because
I love that one so much.
And I was so conflicted because I love Trish Stratus, like how Mickey loved Trish Stratus. So I was like, as much as I hated Mickey, I also felt you.
Like I get it.
Yeah.
What'd you think of Trish's husband?
Jack?
Jack.
I hated him. Because I wanted to be Jax. Jake Stewart 2014. Is there any chance to get old weekly review format back? No shade to this, but I just missed banter between DS, Paloma, Joey, Moxie. Awesome question. I get this question a lot. That's when we had Raw and SmackDown back to back.
Yeah.
And then it was all Wednesday, 2 shows, NXT and AEW.
Yeah.
Now there's shows literally every day.
Every single day.
Every day. So
Twice on Sundays.
And Impact and everything. Like, it's so much.
sometimes there's like 2 and 3 pay-per-views a week. So like it's logistically a nightmare to have everyone together every week to do review. It just doesn't make any sense.
We would love to, but I mean, we'd also need like an extra, 40 days in a week or so to make it happen.
Because we all have our separate career as a Broadway star of Chicago.
It's a new job that I can't talk about, but I'm also jumping into the theater world.
NDA, Emmy Award producer. So it's a different, but I love that time too, but it is logistically difficult.
You can also announce me as a TikTok star. They're paying my bills now.
Yeah.
The short answer is, I hope someday. Please understand, when I very first started recording with Ring the Bell, I was, wrestling 3 times a weekend, selling houses during the week, and no child. So I live like an hour and a half to 2 hours away from Paloma, DS, and Joey, and that is on a good day with no traffic. So I could spend 2.5 hours driving to Joey or DS or Paloma's house, recording for 40 minutes and drive another 2.5 hours home. But my life now that I have a toddler, it isn't set up for that. DS and I talk about this a lot. We are hoping when she is a little older and can concentrate more on like an iPad or something, that I can make it work. But this year will it happen? Probably not, but maybe in a year or so, when you all keep growing our channel bigger and bigger and loving us, then yes, I hope that in the future I can make regular appearances again.
Chris Pinion, I do want to hear about DS's experience when he was working for WWE. That's a whole ass story, but I gotta say one thing. This is my favorite story to tell. So, I was initially rejected by them. They rejected me on the phone, so I was like really devastated. Right after they rejected me, I emailed them back, and then I used hashtag give DS a chance. And then they called me back.
No way.
And they're like, we're actually going to give you this job.
I love that.
I had no idea. That's so cute.
So I really like that story, and I like headbanged to Becky Lynch song for like a whole minute, and I had like I couldn't move my neck. I couldn't move my neck for a couple days, but that was really
Sounds
cool.
like me after taking a tombstone.
No, but I love all the people that work within WWE, but it's a weird ass company. It's a weird ass company. Christopher 6386 Paloma, why do you choose the kill switch as your finisher?
Because it's one of the moves that I could do to everybody. I wish it was a better answer than that. It really is. It's a easier move I could do to a 300-pound dude to a 95-pound tiny little woman wrestler. I wish it was a flashier answer, but there's not. Sorry, Candice Michelle. I could not say that the Candy rapper inspired me, but I mean, she did, but not like, would you use my finisher? But I'm sorry, there's not a more fun answer than I could do it to everybody. And it's not as taxing on my body as if I was doing like a crazy move every match.
There's another question from Christopher. Do you guys have any backstage heat with major wrestlers that we see in promotions today?
I mean, probably, since she's stealing my gimmick. Jeez.
You don't have to name names, but is there any heat?
I don't know if heat, but I don't know how some exes feel about me that are in some major promotions.
Yeah, that part.
I heard you had some, not the negative heat, but like heat. Just kidding. No, never mind.
I mean, maybe when we get to what's the next milestone, 250K.
Yeah, I'll sign off on you with that because same girl.
There's definitely heat, but like a good one. Not gonna name names. What?
Because I know Brittany.
Oh. Wait, which one? Are there multiple?
Yes.
Jumping in here with the spicy question. I would say, is this person a major name? And I would say not anymore and not really ever. But this entire story is a little bit of a nightmare where it was a breakdown in a friendship over a course of a couple matches in a couple instances. And this person basically shot on me in a match. I ain't about that. And so I basically told them about themselves and the entire company about themselves and left and decided I was never going to turn back.
If you guys were to do a fatal four-way match, who would you each pick as your tag partner?
Like a four corners tag.
People can like speculate to see who you said.
I'm gonna choose Gail Kim because she's my Korean sister. She's my Nuna, and she like offered to train me, and I was like, "No, we're gonna make me cry."
Say yes. Hello. Say yes. I'm gonna say Jazz because she kicked my ass, so now she has to be my friend.
I've already got a tag team partner, Shelly the Bombshell Benson. Yeah.
Oh.
I immediately thought I would pick Paloma because, you know, girl power. But I think at this juncture in my life, I would pick Joey so he could take all the heat.
Sumutu Chok Wu Loko Paloka. If you were to choose, who would you want to be champion like right now?
Of WWE?
Of anything.
Mickey James.
Rhea Ripley's already got the belt. Like,
Eel Sky.
She's the champion.
She should stay champion.
Oh, I want to see Wendy Chu as champion. I want to see Wendy Chu as champion. The pajama, rise to sleep, rise to rest.
that's a sleeper pick for sure.
Your buddy Seth TBDS, a wrestling fan, did it ever occur to you to experience the action inside the four-square ring? I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I have like zero athletic bone in my body. Not athletic.
You were in the military though.
You know what happened? In the military, they make you like play soccer as like a team building
I love
experience.
this story.
I didn't want to play it, so I acted like, because I watch wrestling, so I sold an injury. I actually broke my knee
That's
doing
karma
that.
because you tried fame in the military.
So I have no athletic bone in my body.
I think you'd be a great wrestling manager, not gonna lie.
Oh, manager maybe.
Yeah, you would be great.
Manager maybe. But like, it is kind of ironic that I am like critiquing any wrestling, to be honest, because I suck. But I know that.
Be a wrestling manager, and then somehow you end up having a feud with like Pollo Del Mar or something.
Let's do it.
Hey, with the Pollo Del Mar, I got an idea. Hey, Effie, if you're watching this, me and Paloma tag up at the next gay brunch with DS as a manager. We take on whoever you got.
We're ready for you. J Galaxy Skits O said, my question is, has anyone tried out for WWE or big brands to see how far they would go? Is there any experience trying out?
Yeah, I've had 2 WWE tryouts. I've did the TNA gut check.
Oh.
Remember that? Yeah, remember that? I was like second place in like the voting ranking system or whatever it was. Then during that time too, Bruce Pritchard told me that I have 70% what it takes to make it. And so I was like, oh, that's great, right? So I thought, I'm like, okay, this is great. I'm probably might get signed because it's more than 50. Like, they'll teach me the 30%, but no, then after that, he didn't tell me anything else. But yeah, he also told me I sounded like his ex-wife, so that's probably why I didn't get signed.
He told you what now? Because he told me I have 70%.
Oh.
I didn't impress in the ring that much. Like, I did what I needed to do, but I impressed the hell out of him in promo class. So, like, 4 of us got picked to do, like, the pre-show tag match for his show that he was doing. And he straight up looked at me and told me I've got about 70% of what it takes to make it in the business. Like,
I wonder if that's his
That's
go-to
his gimmick,
statement. Yeah.
totally, for
Team
sure.
70%.
Yes! Okay, having WWE tryouts is pretty fun because by a tryout I mean like literally you get to be an extra and then hang around in catering and then roll around in the ring. You get to come back with a whole bunch of random funny stories, including me walking next to Braun Strowman and being like completely like engulfed by him because he's like super huge, and Bobby Lashley coming up to us and shaking our hand and making sure we're okay. There was just so many random cool stories that you get like that. But yeah.
What about you?
Nothing other than I had a like Zoom interview to be on Tough Enough. That's as far.
Oh my god, which year?
The one that Mandy Rose and
Oh,
them were on.
nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of people think because I appeared on Raw, that means that I got to try out. But really, you, in a way, try out that day. They kind of get all of the extras in the ring and kind of see what you can do. And you try out in that aspect. But you're trying out for that on that night. You're not like trying out to try to, have a tryout at the performance center. I don't know that I ever started wrestling so I could try out for anything big. I just saw that match in 2012 and wanted to see how far I can go. And I have accomplished more than I ever thought.
AA Ron said, I'm working to become a pro wrestler and was wondering if you can share tips on how to get started, what to expect.
Your back to hurt.
For it to be really, really hard.
Yeah.
Like, just because you watch wrestling, like, oh, I could do this move, it's not easy. Like, wrestling did not come easy to me at all.
How do you start, though? Where's, like, a good place to start?
Honestly, look up what schools would be in your area. Also, like, look up each individual trainer. Like, see what they've done, see who they are, see who they're interacting with, where they're currently working. Because not only can someone teach you how to wrestle, but the connections that they have really matter because they can steer you in like the correct direction you want to go for your career.
And one of the biggest advices I would give is to have a cool, different, either hidden talent or background or story or work or anything else that you do besides wrestle. Because there's literally so many good wrestlers, but then what? Like, they want you to bring something else to the table besides wrestling. Okay, you could wrestle, but guess what? They could literally teach anybody how to bump. If you could, like, juggle, speak a whole bunch of languages, I don't know, or an actor, like, literally they look for people who have cool, interesting backgrounds and then can get you to wrestle. But definitely a credible wrestling school is so important. Helps out if your trainer has connections or has done something, so that way they can be like, oh, I know this really good person. Can you help them out? And buy knee pads.
Knee pads and, oh my God, start yoga. Like, start doing yoga.
Okay. Okay.
First one is invest in training and good training. Don't be a yarder. B, have lots of Tiger Balm and don't be afraid of ice baths. C, always, once you're starting to put matches together, always, never, ever be afraid to tell your opponent, especially if you've never worked them before, if you're not comfortable giving or receiving a move.
Jadari TV 8602 asks, how do you plan on expanding Ring the Bell? That's a very good question. Ooh. So, you know what? That is a big question that I've been just thinking lately. So, if you guys have any idea, let us know what you want to see on Ring the Bell outside of what we do. We're trying something new. We just filmed one. It's going to be a super fun, interactive little content. So I hope you guys like it. But we are coming up with ideas. So
for sure.
Hopefully we'll be able to present you with more interesting content.
What was the rest of it?
Besides reviewing women's wrestling, you could put on your own women's wrestling show called Ring the Bell.
Oh, totally. DS, and you would be a wrestling promoter / booker for sure.
I would love to, not only because like so many of our viewers aren't just female, we also have a large gay following. I would love to see like a very women's specific and LGBT centric wrestling show from Ring the Bell.
Oh my God. Now that you said that, there was one time that I was like, I really wanted to step in the ring. Those custom matches.
Oh, yes! There's so much money in those, yo.
It doesn't seem
So much money, oh my God.
It doesn't seem like there's that much moves going on, just a lot of ball grabbing. I'm like, I kind of want to do that. So, if you know a promoter for those,
There's even a hair pull one. There's like specifically a
like a ball hair?
So it seems like it's an adult entertainment thing, and obviously people can get adult things from anything, but I've seen people get like paid so much money just to sit in like a Boston Crab for like 20 minutes. Like
I'll be in there.
In one of the custom matches that I had to do, literally one of the lines you have to say was like, I'm so flabbergasted.
That's a weird word to
right?
me. Yeah.
I'm so flabbergasted. Someone Venmo me $20.
Lee Fang 12 said, what is your favorite segment ever?
Lee Fang. There used to be this wrestler in Amarillo named Lee Fang that Cody kicked his ass one time. I hope it's not the same person.
That's my outfits, you psycho.
Is that the same one as the vibrator segment?
I bet if I looked in your bag, there'd be something like
battery operated.
Battery operated. That was it.
That was a good one.
Psycho.
It doesn't matter if they're Britney frickin' Spears. Nobody's gonna steal my spotlight. Okay.
Which one's that one?
Shredded.
Oh, which one's the one where everybody's being like a super mean girl to is it actually,
Mickey James?
Yeah, Mickey James. Yeah, that was so bad.
The Piggy James segment. That was such a good segment.
Yeah, it's my favorite because it literally like fueled like my whole rage on being a women's wrestler. I'm like, how dare you?
My favorite wrestling segment ever is when the WWE announced that they would be inducting China into the WWE Hall of Fame. Oh, wait.
JFab2681 asks, what is your favorite WWE women's figure so far?
I feel like this is a Joey
This
question.
is a very Joey question. So my favorite is actually from way back in the day. I think it's like 2001. There was the Lita Fatal 4-Way figure. Have you seen the Fatal 4-Way line? They weren't like actually action figures. They were like die-cast molds, and they came with like their own little piece of the ring. And like it was the first Lita figure that had like the thong and the baggy pants and everything just looked right. I'll have to bring it in, but it's my absolute favorite.
My favorite was the Barbie line because I always wrestled with my Barbies anyway. So when they had wrestling Barbies, I was like, this is what dreams are made of.
Hey now.
Hey now.
I love the Trish that you had last time. I don't remember.
Oh, the
which one.
LJN style
Yes,
Trish?
that's. I think that's one of my favorite ones for
She's
sure.
one of my top 10.
Next question's for Paloma. Do you want to read it?
Oh, fun! This is from Yuki. Well, I can't see.
Yukina Miyuka.
Why does Paloma hate Kelly so much? I need her honest answers. Okay, y'all.
Honest answer.
Let me give y'all the real tea. Okay, so what happened was one time Kelly said my dog wasn't cute. And then she stole all the backs to my earrings and took out all the labels to my canned food. How am I supposed to know what the hell's in the cans? No, I don't hate Kelly. Please let me know when I have said I hate Kelly. Go on. Oh wait, that's right. You can't. I have literally never said I hate Kelly. I'm working, y'all. I'm literally working, y'all. It is a work. It is a work. I'm sure she's a lovely person. I wish her nothing but the best. But the fact that y'all get so riled up about me hating Kelly is literally the reason why I do it. I would literally love to wrestle Kelly. I think it would be so funny.
That'd be cool.
That'd be so cool. I would sell the shit out of her for it. I would love to take that head scissors, give me the K2 special, everything. Like, I would actually love to wrestle Kelly. Was she my favorite wrestler? Is she my cup of tea? No, not at all. And guess what? That's okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, so what do you like about Kelly? Beautiful gown. Good thing about wrestling is that you all have your own favorites.
Yeah.
There's no like ultimate great wrestlers that we all love. There's ultimate. No, we all have our favorites. We all have someone that we connect with. As you can see, I'm obsessed with Trish Stratus, and I did not like Lita growing up. Of course, I did not know how much of an amazing person she was in person, but I hated her.
Did you hear that, Lita?
You know?
Did you hear that?
But I love her now. But that's the thing. You don't have to connect with everyone through the screen. That is fine.
That's what literally makes the world go round, and this is why we could have great conversations about wrestling.
Yeah, and that's why we have a good show, because we all like different stuff.
Like, how boring
Like,
would it
I
be?
do not get this vibe. Okay, a question from Jakey Joe. Who was the most intimidating person to interview? I gotta say, it was Alundra Blaze Medusa, because I wasn't even born when she was on her peak.
Because you think she's gonna throw you away in the trash.
Well, that made that too. But like, I just had to like study everything. I listened to all her podcast interviews. Like, I read up on her. Like, it was a lot of studying. That interview was so great because she said hello to me first. She was like, "Oh, you're DS from Ring the Bell." It was such an amazing interview, and I've learned so much through that interview. I was most intimidated by that one. Also, at the same time, it was one of my favorite interviews. Francie Ray Infiesto. Who do you think is the hottest male wrestler today?
See, these are the questions I want to be answering.
It's me.
These are the questions that I want to answer for sure. These are the questions I thought we were gonna get. Randy Orton will always be my favorite, even though he's. I mean, is he still? I know he's not wrestling right now, but he's still a wrestler, hands down. Randy Orton, any day.
I think I'm really into masks lately. Dragon Lee.
Oh,
It's
I thought you meant like.
MASC.
Me too. Me too. I was like, oh.
I'm mask for mask lately. I'm all in for loose mask and tight tights.
I'm still going with me because I'm in my delusional era. I'm also freaking gorgeous, but no lie, cash wheeler.
You know who's really hot without a mask? Bandito. He looks like, what's the cartoon person's name in Pocahontas? Not John Smith. The what?
Kokoa.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Very hot without a mask on.
Grito Mundial said, why do you think gay men are so fanatical over women's wrestling?
Because for so long we had to sit through brother. Oh yeah, snap into a Slim Jim, biceps, and some people just don't relate to that. Some people just don't. And then when you have like these strong, powerful women.
Yeah.
And it's not just wrestling. Like, gay men relate to women on so many different levels. Like, I see gay men who always relate to, like, Wonder Woman and, like, Catwoman and things like that. And, like, the amount of gay men who love the pink Power Ranger, unfathomable. It's just always been a thing.
Yeah, like for me, I was thinking about this. Like, why do I not really care about men's wrestling that much? Just because a lot of the men's wrestling on TV is about muscle men trying to be, I'm
Big
masculine,
men
I'm muscly, I'm a man. But there's something I think more interesting innately about women being both sexy and beautiful, but also kicking ass and like athletic and strong. That subversive part like really connects with gay people, I think. Queer people.
Well, I think it's also like some of my favorite men's superstars or men's wrestlers are always the ones that aren't that typical macho kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, I loved watching Shawn Michaels because he was coming out there and being charismatic and kind of being a little bit sexy, being a little bit bedazzly. Like, Chris Jericho was someone I really enjoyed watching growing up. And because it wasn't that stereotypical, this BS kind of mask thing that we've all been, like, subjected to try to be pushed to be for so long. We're just like, no, sis.
Next question, Blair got
Monet.
Blair got Monet. Who is the nicest girl you've interviewed with the cameras not rolling? I gotta say, they're all really nice. Everyone has been so nice except for like maybe one. I don't know, maybe one or two. But everyone has been
That's
just
250,000 to you right there.
Everyone's been so nice, but because you're Blair, I'm gonna say she is so friggin' humble. She's so nice. I was waiting to interview her, and like we couldn't start the interview because Titus O'Neil was doing something, and he was like, "Quiet, everyone!" So we just had to like stand there like awkwardly, and we were just like talking for like 5 minutes. It was like so sweet. And after the interview, I was trying to take the mic away from her, and then she thought I was hugging her, and we were like this awkward moment. So Bianca Blair, so sweet, and she like commented about it. She's so sweet. I don't know how she's like the top of the top, but so humble, so nice. So hope you like that story. Blair got Monet. Next question is Mr. Marilio or Mario. Oh, Mr. Mario, who was the most diva?
Ooh, all caps too. Diva.
I'm gonna say Ariane Andrew. In the best way, though. In the best way, because it was very early on in the channel. She invited me to her podcast studio. It was so glitz and glam. All the lights were there. She got me this, like, Evian little bottled water. It was so, like, I was treated like a freaking star. Like, she was so nice to me. It was such a diva treatment. I loved it. And the last interview I did with her, it was, like, the complete 180 because I went to her apartment. It was just, like, so down to earth and chill. It was, like, one. So I got to experience both sides of Ariane. It was like I love her so much, but she was giving me diva. I love it. Next one from Twilight Dream. Would you ever consider covering Stardom content? They blocked me. Gilender 91. Will there ever be more What Happened in the Year? I love those series, by the way. I know that you guys love it. I love it. But I need to watch every match of that year to make that video. It's just a lot. So with this weekly series going on, I honestly don't have time to do it.
I will say, if you're looking for something that covers week by week in the year of women's wrestling, Golden Era Podcast, we got you.
There's Golden Era Podcast. There's other stuff to watch.
Yeah.
But hopefully, you know what? Maybe I'll retire one day. I'll do it. I don't know. But for now, I can't do it.
I retired from the ring. Yes. 2020, I had a lot of amazing things set up. Traveling the country, even the world, leaving the country like 3 more times in 2020. And then like a lot of people, COVID ripped it from me. But 2020 was always going to kind of be my last year because we knew we wanted a family. And so we were going to try for that in 2021. So although COVID ripped all my wrestling plans and my plans for retirement out of my hands, we didn't let COVID or a worldwide pandemic stop our life plans. So do I think I'll ever come back to the ring? Unless my daughter is like begging me that she demands that she must see me wrestle in person one time in her life. I'm done. I really am. I'm sorry to disappoint you. But I got a lot of stuff on YouTube y'all can watch. Not my best stuff, but you know.
Should we go to the last question that everyone's asking?
Can we take a shot first?
Right?
I know that a lot of you guys asked it, and I think it's finally time to address it. It was 4 years ago. We have a formal co-host that was with the channel for a year. She left, and it was this family for 4 years. So I'm kind of surprised that people are still like very curious about it, but I guess it's like a good time to finally address it, because I think I'm in a mental space finally like able to talk about it. But this is not like tea spilling or anything, so don't get your like tea ready or anything. I just want straight up. But it was 4 years ago, and we've all grown. We're different people now, so I just want to preface it that way. It was just not a very healthy working relationship, and especially because pro wrestling was a space that I feel like it's a safe zone for me. It's where I kind of escape from the reality. I think a lot of you guys love the banter that was on screen. That sometimes I watched and it was like, oh, that's like kind of fun to like see people fight about stuff, but that kind of bled into behind the scenes. And you know, if it was like wrestling, you would wrestle and like banter in the ring and you would be buddies in the back.
Yeah.
But that was just not the case for a long time. So it was not very sustainable in that sense. But there were a couple things that happened that I won't get into details because again, it's 4 years ago that I don't want to rehash anything. But that really was a tipping point that I was like, this cannot continue. So the first one was when the toxicity started going into other co-hosts and guest stars. I felt like that was a point where I was like, okay, this is not just me enduring and saying everything's gonna be fine. It's affecting other people that's related to Ring the Bell. And then, it's gonna disappoint you all, but as many things go wrong with this, it was money issue. Earlier on, we had an investor that was excited for the growth of the channel, but there was a misuse of that fund that got me into legal trouble. Thankfully, that's all cleared up, but that like week or two that I had to deal with that was like something that I don't want to deal with ever again. So that was the week I was like, this is something that we cannot continue. And then we got to talk about it. I got to talk with the former co-host, and we agreed to go our separate ways. That's what happened. Yeah.
Are we all telling personal stories?
No, that's it. There are also a couple questions about how, like, would she be back for one time only? There was a period of time, like, a couple years ago, that I was back in communications with her, but that quickly also got sour. So I, at this point, don't see it happening.
Yeah, there was a lot of negativity that swirled around right before that whole thing ended, and especially with, there's one thing that happens when you're gonna spread some like rumors or something, but when you have a very large platform and you speak negatively on people, you don't really know what that platform is going to do to said person. So I experienced a lot of that, and then you know, with some of the stuff that's come out afterwards, too, it's kind of like, I don't know if that'd be the best idea.
And I know a lot of people want to come out here and be like, ooh, what's the tea? And, like, have us, like, spill all this, like, negativity or, like, tea and, like, all these, like, rumors or confirm or denying of them. But, like Dia said, we definitely have grown ourselves not only as a channel, yay, for 100K, but also as people. And us doing that would do absolutely nothing for the channel, for us, and to her. Like, no bad blood for me, at least. I mean, wish her well in all her future endeavors, whatever that is. But I think that chapter has closed definitely with Ring the Bell at least. And I know people are still going to be like, oh my God, what happened? And I wasn't here. Like, tell us everything. But honestly, it's just be a healthier way for us personally and the channel just to move forward. We're not going to be like, oh, that never existed. Of course, that's part of the history and part of the channel.
Yes.
But it's just moving forward. I think will help us grow to the next cool plaque that we get if we just move forward with positive stuff and not have to keep on going back to this. And like seriously seeing every video with a comment like this is kind of not disappointing, but a little like, oh, okay, people still are interested in it. But I can see why. But like I said, we're professionals in and out of this, so we don't want to drag this out or drag more people into it or spill all the unnecessariness when there's no need to.
And I know that you can feel that there is a lot more love in the channel. You can feel it. We can all feel it. There's a lot more love. There's a lot more respect.
My reference brain back to That's So Raven, just can you feel it?
you know what you're referencing. Okay. But I'm so happy with the Ring the Bell family. I'm like mentally so stable. So thank you so much to everyone. Thank you so much for Paloma. Thank you so much.
And Moxie Molly too.
And Moxie Molly.
Love y'all.
And I think that concludes our 100K celebration. Thank you so much for being here. We're gonna serve you more stratifying content moving forward.
Here's to another 100K!
Woo! Where can we all find you, Paloma?
You can find me at Paloma Star on Instagram and Twitter. And now that I can talk about it, you can find me on stage live at the Goodman Theater. I actually have the leading role at this awesome, amazing production called Lucha Teot. And it's about this Azteca mythology, lucha libre. It's everything you love about wrestling in a play form. It starts on September 29th through October 29th at the Goodman Theater here in Chicago.
And guys, I'm not even lying. Goodman Theater is one of the most respected theaters in Chicago. She's a lead. It's a huge, huge deal. So I'm so happy for you, Paloma.
So excited. Can't wait for y'all to see it.
And Joey?
You can find me at Joey_Mayberry on Instagram and Twitter, Joey.Mayberry on TikTok. Also, if you like women's wrestling and a full history of it, stream the Golden Era podcast here on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.
And you can find me at DSN on Instagram and Ring the Bell DS on X. Alright, see you next time. Bye.